Hey guys, good day. This is podcast video presentation of BSEMC students. Hi guys, I'm back again and again. So now, we will gonna start our podcast by discussing our previous lesson, which is philosophical perspective of the self. So guys, are you ready?
Yes, ready.
I am ready.
Yes.
Okay, first question. What have you learned from our previous lesson about perspective the self?
In my own understanding about what I have learned in self-perspective is that self-perspective is something that we understand ourselves.
Yes, you're right. Dapat talaga naintindihin natin at kilalanin natin ang ating sarili, no? Diba? Agree ba kayo niyan?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yes, it also helps us build ourselves. It is either shaped us by experience, interactions, and cultures. It also affects our self-esteem and identity.
So, just like what Emmanuel said, self-perspective is how we view ourselves. And I've also learned that a positive self-perspective can boost self-confidence and well-being.
Yes, nakaka-boost talaga ng self-confidence, no?
Yes, correct.
And from what I've learned, self-perspective is like building yourself to become a decent human being that can analyze what you need to do and to choose the right path.
A self-perspective is more likely how you view yourself, how would you see yourself, or how would you describe yourself. That's all.
Thank you guys for your wonderful answers. Yay!
So guys, I have one last question. Can you relate yourselves among the 12 philosophers from their philosophical self-perspective?
Yes. So for me guys, I want to share something about me. Who am I as a philosopher? Because this philosopher is relate to myself because sometimes I do this in myself. According to John Locke, the self is consciousness. Being conscious of yourself is not a bad thing because self-consciousness can be used to improve or being aware of oneself as an individual. Self-consciousness is also a state of being aware of what you've been think and you aware of your previous memory or experiences.
Thank you for that wonderful answer, Miss Danica. So, for me, Immanuel Kant is probably the closest philosopher whom I have the same understanding. Because my belief in prioritizing the well-being and happiness of others above self-interest finds profound resonance with Immanuel Kant's ethical philosophy. And by embracing Kant's perspective, I stand as a proponent of the belief that the moral imperative of prioritizing the well-being of others serves as a guiding principle for a more ethical and harmonious self. Thank you. So, what about you, Carl?
Knowing God is knowing yourself. From this statement, what Saint Augustine stated in her quote, I totally agree because knowing the Word of God is like a cooking tutorial. In order for us to make our meal perfect, we need to follow the steps on how to cook. Just like in our life, it helps us to become a proper human being that chooses the right path. That's what Saint Augustine wanted to express.
Aside from Saint Augustine, another philosopher would be John Locke. John Locke's philosophical self-perspective somehow actually makes sense. Before, when us as babies born into this world, we are truly an innocent one. And by innocent means is that we don't have any knowledge at all, as Locke said about tabula rasa. And as we grow older, it really depends on how we live our lives, gaining experiences which organize for our consciousness. For example, when someone asks us to describe ourselves, we actually telling our story of our lives based on our experiences, how we actually live it. So that's John Locke's own view of self-perspective.